Hi, what I want to talk about today is how to never run out of things to say in a conversation. Do you remember that awkward moment when you are trying to engage someone in a conversation and suddenly your brain completely goes blank? At that point in time, you are thinking, what do I say now? Probably the other person might be thinking the exact same thing. Here is the thing, most awkward conversations don't happen because people are boring, they happen because people are trying hard to think about the next thing to say. So here is a trick that can completely change the way you have conversation. Stop trying to be interesting. Start being interested. Question is, how do I show interest? Number one way to show interest is listen for keywords. Let's use this example. If someone tells you that I've been really busy lately, I just got back from visiting my brother in Texas. Some people will say, oh, nice. And there goes silence. Instead, grab a word that they gave to you, Texas. You can ask any follow up question on that word, like, what did you do in Texas? As soon as you say that, you get them talking. Now they may say, I went there because my brother just started a new business. That is the next keyword, business. You can follow up with another question by saying, how did he get into that business? And just like that, you have gotten yourself into another conversation. You don't have to come up with a clever topic. They gave you the topic already. You just have to listen. To keep the conversation going, ask better follow up questions. The easiest way to keep a conversation going is to be curious about what the other person just said. One of the best ways to show your curiosity in conversation is to ask open ended questions like, what happened next? Why did the person decide that? What surprised you? How did you get into that? What made you decide that? These open ended questions are great because they cannot simply be answered with a yes or no response. They always get people talking and telling their stories. And once someone starts telling a story, you usually find more things to talk about in a conversation. But be careful not to turn the conversation into an interrogation by asking question after question, like you are conducting an interview. Listen to the answer, react to it, and share a little of yourself too to keep the conversation going. Let's use this example. If someone tells you that, oh, I started running lately in order to keep fit, don't go ahead by asking them, why did you start? Because they told you already. You can tell them that, oh, I tried running as well sometimes ago. 5 minutes into it, I felt that I wasn't as fit as I thought I was going to be. And now you have given them something to respond to. And that's a conversation and not an interview. It is a back and forth. Even if you listen to keywords, you ask better follow up questions, and you do not ask any back to back questions to make it sound like interrogation. There is every possibility that this could happen. Your mind goes blank. I've experienced that before, and I want to give you a trick on how to get out of that situation if you find yourself there. Here is what I want you to do next time you are in a conversation and your mind goes blank. Do not panic. Don't start searching your brain for some fascinating stories. Just pay attention to the last thing they said and ask, what is interesting about that? Maybe the last statement They might have mentioned their job, their vacation, their kids, their hobby, something they are worried about, something they are excited about. That is exactly the doorway which they have just given you. What do you do next? Open it. They have given you the doorway on how to continue the conversation. What do you do with the doorway? Open it. Here is the biggest shift. It's simple. Your job is not always to be interesting. Your job is simply to be interested in the conversation. Why? Because people remember how you made them feel. And one of the easiest way to make people feel good in a conversation is to genuinely care about what they are saying. So next time you are talking to someone, don't put too much pressure on yourself on finding the next thing to say. Follow this process. Just listen, catch a keyword, and ask one more question, and let the conversation take you somewhere. I want you to try this in your next conversation. Listen for keywords, ask a follow up question, and come back and tell me if the conversation gets easier. Thank you.